You know, and I know, and they know, 'cause we go all in. And I know, they know, 'cause we go all in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the newest edition of What You've Been Missing. It's your boy, Have Streams, and K Dizzle DC. Shout out to all the underdogs. You're now watching the All Dressed Up podcast. Episode what?
31.
30 Whizzle. 30 Whizzle. Shout out to DJ White's in the building. What's going
Yes,
on?
sir.
Bam! Let's go. Yeah, I don't know where the hell you been. Probably eating that chicken foot soup. You and the Jamaican crazy people. Yo, Half, what's good, my guy? How you feeling?
How you been? How you been, K Dizzle?
I've been fantastic, man. Yeah, follow by to the build. I don't care. Fuck. I've been fantastic, man. Good week, long week.
Good.
Good football. You know, football seasons is always love. But I'm glad we're here because I like tonight. I like tonight. I like how we're getting in the throes of everything and get moving. How about you, man? I see you got the studio set up.
Yeah, the studio
Set up.
the studio is definitely under construction. I'm looking around. I'm feeling the ambiance, I'm loving it, man. I'm in a good space right now. Pretty soon I think we might be doing something maybe together. Who knows?
Look at my guy. Look at my guy letting the cat out the bag. Man, look, we chilling tonight. We're gonna talk about something that's very important.
Hey, you see my paid in full? Look, you see my paid in full picture behind me?
What's popping, Kermit? That's the only thing I ever get when
Kermit.
somebody from the hood figure out what my real name is. That's the first thing they say.
What about my Jerome picture?
I see you, pimp dog.
Yeah.
Look, you moving up. You trying to get a beard. Stop.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah, he used Soul Glow in his beard, actually. He the only
Soul Glow.
Licensed Prince Hakeem. But look, man. What happened to your boys today? Let's get into sports right away because I'm gonna talk all the trash I want because my team.
Don't skip my rant. We're gonna get back to my rant if you want to jump right into sports.
Huh? Oh, wait a minute.
Thank
we're
you,
gonna get to
DJ
the
White.
rant. Let's get to these sports right quick, man.
All right, man. So where you want to go? Go ahead and start it off.
No, man. You talk about.
No, you started it off.
I started off till tomorrow. Eagles play the Cowboys Monday night primetime. I don't know why these Cowboys keep getting primetime slots, but
you know why they do. What do you mean you don't know? What do you mean you don't know why the Cowboys get these primetime spots and they get them early while people are still interested? It's all about that coin, my friend. But look, so the Washington football team trotted out in the field today with Taylor Heineke, and he had to face the kid Josh Allen, and he just proved to everybody across the country that he is the truth. My guy had 4 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown on the day. Washington was never in the game, but I think it was good for them though, honestly, because they were going to lose either way, and I think it's a good learning experience. And I'm not one for more victories, but hey, if you're going to get your ass whooped, you might as well learn something while you're doing it.
Shout out to the second-year quarterback Justin Herbert and taking down the Kansas City Chiefs.
Let me ask you a question.
What up?
But yeah, shout out to him though. That is a good point. But I'm not going to let you slide because you want to jump into sports. What is up with your fantasy football team?
I don't. Hey, see?
Nah,
exactly
what
I'm talking about, my guy.
No.
Exactly what I'm talking about. Wait a minute. 3 episodes, you talked about how I had a great draft and all this other fuckery that ensues. I tell you, I'm not that great at fantasy football. Everybody gets hurt. Everybody goes out. Everybody dies. It's just crazy.
Excuses.
Christian McCaffrey went out. AJ Brown went out. I mean, D Hop had no love today. What was he? Did he even play today? Sweet Jesus. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, Aaron Rodgers can resurrect
Where'd you get your team name from? The Capri Sun Killers.
Capri Sun Killers. Oh man, Capri Sun Killers. Shout out to Thundercat. Thundercat did. If you're not a fan of Thundercat, he's been around for a while. Talented bass player, but he came out with a song called Dragon Ball Durag. I advise everybody to go watch that video. It was awesome. He's sitting on a he's sliding on a scooter, drinking a Capri Sun. Checking out the honey. So Capri Sun Killer, and not only that, you know what I'm saying. Shout out to all the single moms. I got boyfriends, and let them boyfriends kill all the kids, juice snacks and stuff. So Capri Sun Killer. You know what my last one was? It was my other season was Antoine Wick. But look,
but see, but when you name your team Capri Sun Killer, it took me back to when I used to play ball when I was like 12 or 13. And I come in the house and I like sneak out like 4 Capri Suns, and I crush 2 going down the stairs, and all you hear is pause. And I'm running down the stairs. By the time I get out the building, I got 2 left. Yeah. Drink the 3rd on the way back to the court. Drink the 4th at the court, and I'm done.
Super pause. Hey, them choices was appetizers, man. Straight appetizers. There was nothing fulfilling about a Capri Sun. I think that's one of the greatest adventures. They put 8 ounces in a silver box and made you want it. We supposed you stupid. You stupid. But come on, man. Get into what we talking about. Rants, man. We do this
up, Erica?
Rants, man.
Nah, because it's been a week, and it's been a while. A lot of the our family in the chat, they don't get to talk to us throughout the week. So I just like to pick your brain. Worthy pause. What up, Arizona? Absolutely. But I just like to pick your brain to see where you at, after 7 days, K-Dizzle. Like, what's been getting your brain clicking? You know what I'm saying? So it's not really a rant, but what's on your mind? What you want to talk about before we go into what we're really talking about?
I'll tell you what, man. I went into a TikTok rabbit hole, and I went into a YouTube rabbit hole. My YouTube rabbit hole is a lot different than most. My stuff's full of you got fully vaxxed. Shout out to DJ White getting fully vaxxed, man. Good luck, my guy. Hey, my thing it's all been this week. I've been watching too much Gary Vee, probably because I am tired. Shout out to Tiff. Look, I'm tired of people out here working and grinding for stuff and for shit that has no actual meaning, of no value. People out here working these hard ass jobs, doing these hard ass careers, buying these big ass stuff for what? And at the end of the day, they're not happy with what they do.
So when you say you're tired of it, what do you mean by that?
I'm tired of people not living the way that they want to without any cares. Too many people in this world do shit just to look a certain way or to try to fit into a certain crowd. I give much oblige to those who do what they want to do when they want to do it, who have a career that they love and enjoy, and give no fucks about anything else other than that. Pretty much how I'm trying to live myself. Like, how many people that got big houses or big cars, and it's only them? People that got 4-bedroom houses and there's 2 people in the house. Why do you buy all that house? Help me understand that.
Probably for like some type of sense of security.
Sense of security? Mm-hmm. What type of security you get for having extra rooms for nothing? You paying for a lot of extra shit that's unnecessary.
But that's what most of materialistic things are, though. Really.
So,
like, you don't have to buy the Mercedes. You can buy a Nissan, but
right?
Why would you buy a Mercedes? Because you want what, quality, or you want luxury?
Yeah. Now that's one thing. You say you want to spend money on something because you want a certain level of quality. Like you said, some people equate value to money and material things. Absolutely correct. I'm getting that. Some people buy shit just to buy shit to say they look to imitate that they live a certain life.
Okay. So you're saying people. So you're saying. So you're saying you're tired of people spending money to perpetuate a lifestyle.
Tired of the Jones effect. Fuck y'all. If you see me in the streets, you're gonna catch. I'm sorry. You see me in the streets, you might catch me in shorts and slides.
But I like this, man. What's got you so riled up, man? What happened?
What
Talk to me.
happened?
Yeah, what got you riled up?
I tell you, you know what it is? I'm part of that mass resignation, man. I care nothing about anybody's feelings anymore. I've made a decision that I'm going to spend the time on the things that I want to spend the time on, do what I want to do, and live the life I want to. Period.
Okay.
Point blank. Um, for a long time in my professional career, I chased a certain echelon which I thought would be the pinnacle of success. I got there, and got closer to even closer to the next step, and now I'm realizing what the fuck was that for? I missed a lot going through that, but what was it really for? When I get there, or when I got there, when I was getting to that level, what is that? What does that win me at the end of the day? What does it win me at the end of the day? Because it's not really what I love doing. I love talking to you and fucking around and doing music and enjoying life and spending time with my family. But I spend a lifetime of fucking around. I'm sorry, I'm cursing a lot.
Go
I don't
ahead,
know why,
man. We are
but I
we
spent a
already like
lifetime.
what 5 minutes, 11 minutes in. You're good. Go ahead.
Yeah, I spent half a life burning myself to get to a certain level of success that I thought that would fulfill me, and it didn't. So I just want to do me from now on. I
Okay.
just want to do me from now, and I hope people finally get to the realization of doing the same. And don't feel like they're pressured or have to be pressured to have certain things, to look a certain way, to for them to feel like that you have to be you're not successful if you don't have A, B, and C, just because society or your friends or your family may look at it a certain way. Truth be told, man, if if I didn't have family and kids, I probably live in a one bedroom studio apartment with me and my wife, and travel 6 months out of the year.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So why not?
I got 4 kids, bro. One studio bedroom apartment ain't happening. But what I'm
But you know
doing
what
right now,
though? Go ahead.
what
Go ahead.
what I'm doing right now is um, doing the things. Oh, wait a minute. I supposed to say ain't no point in having a luxury car if you driving to a job. Yo, Jesus, Jesus, Shanae. Ain't no point of having a luxury car if you driving to a job you hate.
That's
Say it again
facts.
for the people in the back. And look, there's nothing wrong with working a job. If that's what you love, do it. If that's what you love, then do it. I'm saying for the people who work a job that don't like the job, or work something that ain't really doing what they want to do. You don't, I know, look, I'm on my soapbox for too long, but one thing I know for sure, that's fact, and nobody can change is you don't get yesterday back. You only got today, and tomorrow you'll know what the fuck gonna happen. So make sure that you spend whatever time you have on this earth, which is a finite resource, doing whatever it is that you enjoy doing the most and pushing towards that. That's my rant. I hope people figure out what's important and just live on that. And stop doing the things that don't make you happy. Period. Period. That's my box. I'm getting on my box. What you got? What's your rant, Hef? Where's your rant?
So that was deep, man. And that's honestly like we could do a whole episode on what you just talked about. So respect to you for even going on that. But I'm gonna go on a much lighter note with my rant. So today I was at the wonderful, good old Walmart,
Yes.
right? And right, Arizona K Dizzle is
What up,
preaching. He
Chris Ford?
said he is sick of these materialistic, empty MFers,
Oh
right?
my
So
God.
let me tell you a story. So I'm at Walmart today, and I'm picking up some stuff for the new house, and I'm in line, and basically the cashier, she's a young lady. She's probably like 18, and she's got her mask on,
Hmm.
and the person in front of me that she's ringing up is probably about 60, and he doesn't have a mask on. And he's got like 3 or 4 items. So I'm sitting there and I got like 50 items. You know me, when I go out, I got to get a whole bunch of shit.
For sure.
So I'm sitting there and like I feel the young lady and where she was coming from because she has to stand up for herself. And she pretty much addressed him by, saying, you know, sir, you have to wear a mask. And the guy was like, no, I don't. The door says it's optional or something like that.
Right.
And then she goes back and she says, yes, you do. And then he says, no, I don't. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Here we go.
Right. And I'm just sitting there like, I just want to get my items ring up so I can make my purchase and get my rewards because I got this new little card
Got to
where
do
I get Walmart
Walmart
rewards, right?
rewards. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm excited. So I'm like, all right, how many points am I going to get? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be in the matrix today. So all of a sudden, I'm like, oh man, like, is this dude really going to get mad at this little girl because
Yeah.
she's like pressing him out? And then I just put him like, man, please just go ahead and just ring them up and get us 3 or 4 items out of here. So my point is like as people out here, we have to like, honestly respect each other. And if you're dealing with a person and if you're doing business with somebody or if you're in their space and they're wearing a mask, I think you should probably wear one, vaccinated or not vaccinated, because at that point, you're within their social distance, and I think it's just a matter of like being respectful. But my rant's kind of just like being in that situation was tough, and I was just hoping it wasn't going to escalate. But what you
Yeah.
think, though, bro?
People don't give a shit. People are selfish. We don't. People do not give a shit. And if they think it infringes upon their rights or whatever, their values or whatever they want to use as excuses, they're gonna do what the fuck they want to do, regardless. And that's just people. And you gotta understand that the same way, I say I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm not cognizant, nor do I care about materialistic people or things. You gotta not care about people who don't care about you. Period. You know, it could be any Walmart. It does not matter. Walmart
It can be
attracts
any
a
Walmart.
certain group of people in our areas. Walmart's just Walmart. It's no place like it. So, um, people are gonna stand on whatever values they think hold true. If they think that if they think that freaking not wearing a mask is what they want to die on, let them die on that. There's plenty of people that do.
Hey, they're
You know,
talking about they're talking about the Walmart over there on Woodyard Road.
yeah,
They putting the
they
Woodyard
labor
Road
actual joints.
Walmart on blast right now
DJ White,
in the chat.
DJ White in Jamaica say you can't go in the gas station without a mask. Ragwan, oye más, oye más. Yo,
You
they
don't
out
get 10 on
shutting down
cheat. You don't get 10 on cheat here with no mask.
the
You don't
No,
get 10 on cheat.
Sebastian. No, no, don't let the police see you. Oh, you getting locked up out there?
Oh, if they see you with no mask, they bringing the ass whooping with them.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, it's plenty of ghetto WalMarts. It just depends on your level of ghetto, what you've experienced. And you go to any Walmart and find a ghetto. I promise you, in the middle of nowhere,
That's why I prefer Target.
in the city, huh? Oh, we can have that. We can have that conversation, man. Target, and that's the middle class Walmart, but we ain't gonna go there. But let's get into we getting into real shopping stuff. But let's get into what we getting into tonight, man. Because look, see, Target is everything. Mm-mm, I can't do it. But look, we talked about this. Well, the episode name is Bag Lady. I think you better call Tyrone.
Mm, that's a mashup.
It is a huge mashup, man.
So tell everybody why is it called that? Kato, so what's up?
Well,
What
it's
we talking
called
about?
that because the biggest thing we wanted to really have a discussion about is emotional baggage and how it affects the decision making process. What up, Fallon? And everything that goes along with your life on both ends. Call Tyrone, and sometimes that lady is carrying too much bags. Bag lady, I think you better call Tyrone. Um,
Why does it gotta be the lady though, bro? Why can't it be the guy carrying the bags?
That's why I said call Tyrone because that nigga got
Okay.
issues too. Don't go there. Don't go there because we gotta do both sides, my guy. Both sides. Where do you want it? where do you want to start on this topic? Because we went like left, right,
Bag
okay.
person,
Look, okay,
bag
see,
person,
bag person.
bag
That didn't even
person.
sound right. Shout out to
You
Erica
gonna
Badu at the
hurt your
MGM.
bag
She was just at the MGM
and
over the
dragging
weekend.
all of them. All right,
See,
so look,
bag person.
so so we're talking about baggage, right? We're talking about bringing it into a new relationship. Are we talking about a romantic relationship, Kados? Are we specifying, that type of relationship or baggage from like previous friendships?
Let's go romantic first, and then we can talk
Okay,
about friendships. Because
okay.
romance is the easy part.
So when you talk about baggage, right, the first thing that comes to my mind is you're bringing in some previous experiences that maybe have caused you to have specific emotions into your current relationship, but you're bringing it in from your previous relationship. That's what we're
Mhm.
talking about specifically. So, you
Yes.
know, how many relationships have you been in that you can say you might have brought baggage into chat, or the person that you were dating over time you felt like a lot of things you dealt with was because of what they experienced in their past relationships? Like, chime in, put the number up, text 301-857-1757 and join the conversation, because that's what we're talking about.
But see
um
that can get intertwined too, because not just past relationships, with uh, past relationships like um, spousal relationships, but you can be talking about relationships with mom, relationships with dad, relationships with siblings. All of that ties into that baggage. When I think about baggage, I think about unaddressed trauma.
but let's not, but with all due respect, let's not take it that deep, because that is, obviously going to be a threat on so many levels, Kate Dizzle,
It
right?
is.
In my opinion, like, let's try to keep it at least on the first level,
First,
like previous relationship
previous relationship.
experiences that you brought into your current relationship. Have you ever brought in certain emotions into your new relationship because of like what you experienced in the past? And the thing about it is, you might realize over time that what you're thinking about, or what you're feeling, or what you're still carrying on is not even really present in that current relationship. It might be something that you're still holding on to from two relationships ago, but for some reason you're still bringing up this type of feeling or emotion with your current partner because you just can't let it go. And that's where I think it comes down to what Fallon is saying about unaddressed trauma. And
Mhm.
exactly, Shanae said that's trauma. So, how do you address that when you really care about somebody, but you can kind of sense, because you might be able to sense it, and you might be able to like address it from that level of maturity, but then again, you might not be able to understand where it's coming from.
How do you address it? That's difficult because even when you're in a relationship, let's just say you're in a relationship, long term relationship, because I can only speak from long term relationship. Um, and hey, what's up, B? The
HCG
things
in the building.
things can happen in your relationship, between you and your significant other, um, that cause a rift in it that your spouse will bring up later on and cause even more trauma.
Oh, say that again.
All right, so let's say something happens in the relationship between, and you guys go through a little spout, and then you make up 2 to 3 years down the line. It could be jokingly, right? Your significant other makes a joke about that situation, which in turn triggers you to relive all that nonsense all over again. It happens all the time. Your significant other knows your buttons, and and that comes back to haunt and causes more issues.
But
The
why?
same.
But why does it have to trigger you though?
Why does that have to trigger?
And see, Fallon is hitting on the points. As soon as I ask a
Better make
question,
this. Look. I know. Look. She
ow,
better look.
wow.
Text the number, join the conversation. Okay, 301-857-1757. Because you keep writing entire paragraphs, I'm gonna punch you in the nose. You have to know what triggers you in order to even start the unpacking process. Once you know what your triggers are, then you have to do the work to disarm it. It's not your partner's job to not trigger you. I agree and disagree. Okay. I disagree with that because your partner uses that as a tool to trigger you because they know you have issues with that. Yeah, you're in therapy. I can't call, I'm feeding you. Oh, whatever.
But what if you don't know what your triggers are?
Mm, mm,
And what
mm.
if you haven't gotten to the point of therapy and the person that you're with and you probably don't recognize it? What you laughing at, man? You laughing at Arizona?
Yes.
The chat's on fire right
I
now.
got trauma from dealing with a thief, so I always leave a couple of dollars around to see if she gonna say something. See, that's hey, look.
That's
You
funny.
better
That's what I
call
was
Tyrone.
laughing at.
You better call Tyrone. Let me put this number up, man, because y'all tripping. Look.
Erica said, "Dang."
Shanae said I'm at the age where toting, I'm toting like the like between showing them of a grace and I don't got time for your shit. Yeah,
And
that's
Bianca
that's
said, "Me too."
that's it's one of those things where um like I said, you have to work on yourself and know what triggers you. At the same time, your significant other in those situations have to be able to understand that it is going to trigger you, and whether to use that as whether to weaponize that against you, knowing that you haven't dealt with that. Y'all really haven't dealt with that situation. And when they do weaponize that and trigger you, that just goes to show that they haven't gotten over that trauma that they experienced too. So it goes
But
both ways.
but the
So
bigger issue though, K Dizzle, is that like if you don't recognize that these issues might be from previous trauma or baggage, and you're recreating the same type of issues in your current relationship that you had in your past because of
mhm,
that, you're headed for for disaster in my opinion. Because at some point, somebody in that relationship has to realize, like, look, I'm not fighting that fight that you used to fight in your previous relationship. And if you don't have somebody in that current relationship mature and intelligent enough or emotionally stable enough to understand, that might be a situation set up for failure, in my opinion. Because that's what I'm talking about. Like a lot of relationships, you're bringing in all this old bullshit and you're projecting it onto your current partner because you're bringing it in. Like
mhm,
this is me under the surface that you didn't really get to see on the first date.
mhm,
You didn't get to experience my insecurities on the second date, but on the like the eighth or ninth date, here we go,
mhm.
right? And that's what we're talking about. Like why all of a sudden you're 6 months in, and you're like, damn, like why am I 6 months in a relationship with a person, and I thought everything was great, but like it's nothing like I expected.
Well, because of two things. That 6 months was that 6 months was all surface. You know, we're all broken in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and we all need time to heal. And we're not always going to be able to deal with and heal with that stuff on our own. Um, Sometimes it does take unfortunately, it does take a good partner, uh, a good confidant to help heal those certain situations and it goes back and forth. Um, there's a lot of things that I wasn't able to deal with or be able to work through until I had help from my wife to work through those things because I didn't always feel like I had somebody to talk to and get that and express that those feelings out and really work through them. Same thing as well on her side as well. There's some things she had to work through, and we're still working different things out together and individually. The relationship can't heal you, but the friendship in the relationship,
I'm with you.
commitment
Okay.
can do so. Uh,
And like real quick, like Shanae says, some people don't know how to let shit go. They like playing the victim. But like that's what I'm talking about. So
mhm,
for example, if you played the victim in your previous relationships and that was something that you like used to like maneuver through those situations in your past, you might bring that shit into your current relationship. And you might be like, myself, because she likes to say I play the victim, personally. But a lot of the time, like, you might bring that characteristic, is what I'm saying, into your current relationship.
Yeah.
And if you don't address yourself and like look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, look, in my last couple of relationships, right? Because let's be honest here. If you're 30 years and over and you're still like dating or like finding yourself in new relationships, you might have to look at yourself in the mirror, because either your expectations are too high or you're the common denominator of the issue why you keep being single again.
Hmm.
Right? Right?
Therapy is yeah, therapy is a must for this.
Exactly, Bianca. Because but think about it though, like if you're 31, 32, and you're still like ending up in a new relationship and you're doing the same things that you've done in the last two or three relationships that you had as an adult, I think you should step back and like really look at yourself and reevaluate things.
Well, don't you don't even have to put an age on it. What you usually find in most situations is uh it's either they are the victim in the situation, or they blame the other person in the situation. Either, well, it's their fault. They either they're not conforming to what you think is right, or they feel they feel the other person like that person did everything wrong to me. It's either one or two ways on how people you know um, perceive and view those situations,
Okay.
or it's the other way around where something happens, either infidelity or whatever the case may be, and the other person just is unable to forgive that, or whatever the situation is, and they can't move forward from that. So um and all that does, when you carry those situations over, like you said, if you don't really sit down and look at it, the hardest thing for people to do is really look at a situation objectively, and look at what they said and look at what the other person said, and actually weigh it out, pro and cons it. Because I know people that say, well, if they ain't get with the program, we out, it's a wrap,
But you
divorce.
know what though? The reason why I put age into it right here is was because age comes with repetition, right? So with me and my friends, like I just see like my pattern over time.
Hmm.
And I look at like my buddies like, characteristics and patterns over time. So even like when I hear my friend reach out to me and talk about his relationship shit and he wants to like vent or get advice or whatever he wants to do with me, after like the sixth time, I'm like, bro, it's been the same shit in all six relationships.
Hmm.
And like I'm gonna be here for you and I'm gonna like love you at the end of the day because you're my boy. But at the same time, like maybe you might be the same, or maybe you might be the common denominator again, because it's like the same situation over and over.
Yeah.
And like we're talking about the same type of shit. And at some point, like you gotta let that baggage go, or you gotta realize, like, you know what, maybe like some people like to say, oh, I gotta find a different type of person, right? Like
You
you
gotta find,
laughing because you've heard it, right? Your boy
yeah.
might like at the bar, y'all might be drinking some, and he might say, I gotta find a different type of woman. But if you're bringing the same type of you into that relationship, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get the same or similar results. You can't go look for a different type of woman. And I'm gonna speak from a man's perspective, and hopefully we can get somebody to Texas tonight. But you can't expect different results when you're the same man looking for quote unquote a different type of woman.
Well, everybody who's thinking that way, everybody who's thinking that way is looking for somebody to put up with their bullshit. For somebody to
You're
okay
looking no, you're
bad
looking for
behavior.
somebody
You
to
look for
help carry
somebody
your
to approve.
bags.
Yeah, you look for somebody to carry your bag. You look for somebody to approve your bad behavior, and it shit don't work like that. They keep trying to figure out why is it, why does this always keep happening? Why do I always meet these terrible men? Why do I always find these terrible women? Why do I always find these hood chicks? Why do I always find these hood dudes? That's because you are the problem. Hello,
But
you
don't
are
nobody want to hear that shit that you talking
but
about, Kermit.
the issue but now what
Don't
happens is
nobody want to hear that they're the problem. Okay,
but
Dizzle,
see
come
what
on now.
happens happened was these people get on the internet,
You're not gonna tell me.
get a
You're not gonna tell
following.
me. Hey, K Dizzle, you're not gonna tell me when I call you at 1 o'clock in the morning crying on the phone. You're not gonna tell me that I'm the problem.
These people get on. Look, I'm gonna tell you, your ass is a motherfucking problem. Get off my phone. Get off my line, bitch. I'm going to sleep. Look, these people get online, get a couple people following, become an influencer, get some pages, and get people to buy into this bullshit. It happens all the time. You are,
but even if you're not an influencer, you
even
can
if you're
be.
not an influencer, you got a couple hundred people believing in your bullshit. Y'all just putting an inner circle of
If you
dumbass.
got one person believing in your bullshit, K Dizzle, fuck 100 million, fuck 100. If you got one person,
But no,
if you can spend one person, there you go right there, and that's the gift that keeps on giving, and that's how relationships go from being where they should go to not really growing in a positive fashion because people can't let old shit go. And
yeah.
speaking from a personal level, because I can't just sit here and preach because I'm still growing every day. Like I think ultimately, the more and more that I learn is that you got to let stuff go. You can't keep on focusing on the same things that always, maybe got your emotions, rattled up before as you get older because the shit don't matter, right? And you told
Mhm.
me that a lot of times over the past 10 years, okay? A lot of shit just doesn't, it's just not as important as what it used to be, and you really got to focus on what's mostly important for you and your family out here because it's just not, you just don't have time for the bullshit. And if you're still doing the old things in your current relationship that you did in your last two or three, you got to check yourself and realize like you can't expect to have a long-term marriage or a family, a stable situation if you're still practicing the same characteristics that you were doing in your previous relationships that failed.
Mhm. Mm.
What
Mm,
up,
mm,
Melinda
mm.
Heffron
So,
Carter?
so yeah. Look, it's easy. It's a circle. If you got a circle, it's usually a circle of squad. It's either women or men that run and do the same dumb shit every time, and nobody in that circle, everybody in this circle is oblivious to the truth because they all affirming each other into the bullshit and fuckery that
Oh,
they're doing.
that's a good phrase. Affirming
That's
each other.
they're sitting there affirming each other.
They're
Yeah,
helping her
yeah,
carry her bags.
yeah, she wrong as hell. Nah, man, you can't go out. No, hell no, man. You come back and go when you please, nigga. Stop. That that is the issue in itself. That's the issue in itself. And too many people buy into that nonsense that
What
men
did Fallon say in the chat? Read her comment because she
huh?
went on fire.
Those types of people seek out yes men. They don't have anyone holding them accountable. So yes, call your friend on their BS when they are calling you at 1 a.m. crying. The only issue with that, Fallon, is you got to have real friends that are going to be able to do that. It is the toxic ego echo chamber that I just sat there and described. You're right. But there's another part in it when you're talking about baggage, and we kind of slid off of it because we want to just stay in an emotional side. The emotional side, as far as relationship, the other baggage that you bring in, and everybody brings that baggage in, regardless of whether you whether you want to or not. You got to have real people in your circle, Eric. 110%. It's the emotional baggage that you bring in from how you perceive your significant other to be based on the patriarch example that was set before you. I'm using big words. You hear that?
I heard everything.
Okay, fantastic. So, so whether you like it or not, when you look at your significant other, the only thing that you have to go off of is that person in your life that raised you and what you think they should be to you, right?
Okay.
How do you work through that baggage? I'm gonna give a prime example. Mama's boys expect the woman to cook and clean and do laundry and all that other shit. Some mama's boys, right? Daddy's girls expect the husband to yeah, Mr. S.A. Shut the hell up. Daddy's girls expect the male to pay all the bills, buy her nice things, and do all this stuff, take her out of trips, all this other fuckery, right? So,
Why has it got to be all this other fuckery?
because either way, it's fuckery, right? Because what usually happens, um, in almost every situation, it, mama's boys are not raised to be men. Um, I'm not unpacking that right now. So, what usually happens is when you find the right person, then you usually have a lot of the traits in which um, are opposite to what you were looking for. If you understand what I'm saying, you
Bianca
get what I'm
says she
saying?
wants to unpack it. She
I
ain't
know,
trying to
I
let you
know.
off the hook.
Mama's boys. See, look at Ron. I'm not washing no dishes, but Ron was a mama's boy. He ain't gonna tell you the truth. But look, you usually find the right person usually has all the stuff that you need.
All right. So look, real quick, because you said that, right? So what if you meet the right person, but you know for a fact that you're bringing baggage in, but you want to hide that baggage because you want to go ahead and get with that person?
Hmm.
Like a lot of people do that too. Like that's unfair
Yeah,
to that person that you're bringing that shit to because you might be hiding a lot of that stuff that you're talking about. K Dizzle, right?
yeah. Most of us do, and it don't come out until shit get real, shit get serious. Whether it be a life or death situation, or it be a financial situation, or it be an unexpected expectation. A baby comes along, or the fire or emergency. That shit only comes out when it starts getting real.
But like the
Most
chats,
of us, huh?
but like the chat's talking about not washing dishes and all that shit, right?
Yeah, they
So
going on. Ron's
Arizona
going.
says he ain't washing no dishes, but all of a sudden he meets the baddest woman of his dreams, and he's over her crib for the first time. I bet you his ass put
He
a
got
dish in the
he got
dishwasher.
Dawn hands. He said
I-
he said he got Dawn hands over
That's
there,
what I'm
boy.
talking about.
Tell you,
Stop bullshitting.
change your life. But and see what we'll do is we'll put on the show, we'll put on the face, we'll wear the hat.
You'll hide your bags.
You hide your bags in order to get the woman that you desire. And once you got them, once you lock them in, right? You show up at the front door like this, boom, whop, like that, just drop it. And that's what that's why you get into those situations. That's why those relationships sometimes don't last, because you're not honest with that person, and you're not honest with yourself, and telling and saying, okay, this is who I am and this is what I am, bringing it to the table. And sometimes they last, sometimes they don't. But we all to a certain extent put the face on to get what we want, and once we get it, we relax, let the belly out, and then it all comes, and
But
then
see,
it all
that's the point right there, right? And
comes.
then Shanae said the same thing. We walk around with rose-colored glasses, and that's what you just talked about in a different way.
Yeah.
But fuck that bullshit because all you're doing is you're postponing the inevitable.
Yeah, inevitable. See, here he go. I don't want my wife to work, ladies, so she washing the damn dishes.
Oh man.
Ron, Ron, Arizona, Ron.
Put
Let
the
me say,
number up, K
okay,
Dizzle. Put the
all
number
right.
up.
So, okay, my wife doesn't work, but she don't always wash the dishes. She don't wash the dishes
Mm.
all the time. So there comes into that play, like, you change and you do certain things in a partnership to help relieve each other. So
And
you
we
you
talked about that before too.
we did talk about that before. Look, she talked about the 1960s. You about to get your ass whooped. Slow down, Ron. Let's get back to this baggage segment, because you about to take me down another different direction. But look,
Back down memory lane.
that was all keys, motherfucker. Look, getting back to it, man. You got to make sure, like I said, those bags. It only lasts for a certain amount of time. It only lasts for a certain amount of time. And so if you're honest up front with who you are and yourself and what you bring to the table, uh, things actually work out and last a little longer because if you have good communication, you can talk through and work through most things. If you don't, if you keep a lot of shit, if you the guy that takes care of all the financial stuff and she don't know nothing, and all of a sudden the phone get cut off, oh you oh you finna get looked at in a totally different light. Or you the one that's you weren't supposed to keep the house clean, you do all this stuff, and a weeks go by and everything's disarray. You're gonna look in a totally different light. So that baggage, you have to be careful of what your mental picture of what you believe your significant other is to be, because
Right.
the person that you truly love and you fall in love with is going to meet 50%. 50 to 75% is a great is a great metric to say that, because that other 50 or 25% that you think you don't like is everything that you need for you to grow and get better in within who you are. So before we start dipping into that direction, um you got something on that, Hef?
No, I think you and the chat and myself really hit a lot of the points on the head. And it's funny because Arizona takes that shit back to the 60s, right? Shanae says, you taking us back to 1960. But
1960.
look, we're talking about baggage. And at the end of the day, when you enter these new relationships, are you expressing your expectations, right?
Hmm.
Or are you expecting what you did in your previous relationships? Follow me now. And you didn't get it then, and you're doing it again. Because unfortunately, hoes can grow,
Those
but
can't grow.
sometimes that hoe might not be growing at that moment,
Mm.
right? But seriously though, like we tend to like think we're gonna start a new relationship, and I'm not gonna like sit here and put myself out there, but I've had a lot of friends that like have came out with that new relationship that they're so excited about, like, oh, have like let me introduce you to my new girl, right? We're gonna go out and double date, and then before I can even get to schedule the date, they already broke up.
That wasn't no relationship.
I'm just
That
saying,
was
like we're
was
30, we're 30 and over, right? We're
the
getting old out here. So like, why are we still doing the same shit and expecting different results? That's the same definition of insanity that we're doing in relationships. We're bringing the old baggage into the new shit. We're expecting to bring in old clothes and put it into a new house, and then not to smell like your old clothes. But real, you took too long.
same girl, different shirt.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking. And you can say it that way, Arizona. You got words for days. But that's my point.
Look, man, it's a common denominator. It's a common denominator. I won't say I will not go out there on the limb and say that's why a lot of people are still single. I think the biggest issue with you have a majority of a lot of single men in
No,
America.
that's why a lot of people are in unhappy relationships.
All right, that's why a lot of people are in unhappy relationships. I will say that. Um, for this area, I will say this: the what's the ratio? 11 to 1, 11 women to one man in this area.
Okay.
Um, that's a terrible thing for women. It's a terrible thing for women, and not just that. Um, because of that ratio, I think sometimes women are accepting of less than what they deserve. You know what I'm saying? From a man and from a relationship, from a man. And I think men take full advantage of that, and just perpetuate the stereotype
Okay.
110%. So,
I'm gonna let you get that off and not really debate with you on that one.
what? Why you say that? Why
Nah,
you say
man, because we're already 50 minutes in on episode
that?
31.
No,
So
no,
we can
no,
talk
no,
later. But nah, man,
no.
you just came. I'm surprised you said it that way. But nah, I'm not gonna go at you.
No, go, please, please do,
No,
please do.
no, go ahead.
Say it. Say it with your chest.
No, go ahead, man. Finish up.
No,
Finish.
no, no. A real man, a real man wouldn't take advantage. You are absolutely right, Bianca. You know what the real man is doing out here? The real man is doing is out here trying to meet women who are not giving him the time of day. Period.
Say
He
that
is out
again.
here. The real man is out here trying to meet women who are not giving him the time of day because they are so jaded from all these other dudes in the street who are running game. The real guy, the nice guy, he's going to put his bid in like two or three times unless you are unless you are everything he thinks he desires, unless he's going full in. Most I'm telling you right now, the man is going to put his bid in like two or three times, and if you seem uninterested or you act uninterested, he gonna be all right. Let me keep moving. I know a lot of single nice guys that it's difficult for them to n- meet women, nice women, without having to actually chase them, like chase. You know what I'm saying?
That's because they don't demonstrate value in themselves. Mike, if you got to chase any woman out here in 2021, you're not demonstrating any internal value. You're laughing, but it's true. And I'm
No.
happy because I'm in a loving relationship, and I'm working on eliminating any previous baggage that I may have. Right, but you shouldn't be out here chasing any woman because that woman has to have in some form of fashion like the same type of vision that you have. Like I think if you really want a woman that's gonna like make the most of like what you expect, she has to have like the same type of goals or the same type of vision, or you shouldn't have to chase her to that extent. So that's just my opinion. Like a lot of us right now are going out here trying to go and put ourselves in these situations to where we're not even ready ourselves to be in. Like, oh, I wanna go and hang out with that girl I see on Instagram. But I'm still living in my basement with my mom, right? And I'm still not necessarily making the money that I need to make to pay my bills. Like I have no business like doing that.
It's not even about that. You could see you taking it on a that's taking it to the materialistic side. You can always meet somebody and build together. That is not the issue. The issue is this. Um, there was a time and period when I was not with my wife. Let me read this before I go deep into this. 11-to-1 ratio, and women have to settle for the mama's boys. Toxic masculinity, the ones who think they're the greatest gift to women, or the ones who can't perform in the bedroom. It's rough out here for women. I wholeheartedly agree, Shanae. I wholeheartedly agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I also wholeheartedly agree that it is hard out here for the good men to make to to actually find ends with the good women, because the good women are so far gone and so far skewed and so far jaded from the knuckleheads in the street that when a
Mm.
good man comes along, it's tough to really pick him out. Sometimes we don't give that guy the time of day. I'm
Hey, that's funny. And Erica McCoy said it's rough out here for women. It's a lot of bummy men with girlfriends.
super bummy man with girlfriend, or the ones who ain't washing dishes.
Oh
Facts, not
shit!
fiction.
I put
Um,
dishes in the dishwasher.
we not going there, man. Happy Ron made his bed. He got a lie in it. But look, there was a short period of time, and there was ages and eons ago, where I was not with my wife, and you know, I'm not chasing look lies. I'm out there. I'm trying to make good conversation, and I did that, and the shit never worked out. Never worked. She never worked
That's
out. I,
funny.
I felt it felt like high school all over again. Everybody I went to high school with, they'll tell you, "Oh, Kermit, you were so nice. You were a nice guy." Blah 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 blah. But never
they
gave me the
they were
time of day.
lying.
Huh?
They were wrong.
Was I wrong?
Were
Hell
they
yeah.
wrong?
But look, they said, but they never thought me in that way, and never gave me the light of day in that aspect. right? Same thing happened when I went into adulthood and I was young and I was out in the streets for a little bit. It was the same thing. I'm not the guy. I'm not the same dude that's gonna come over to you and give you the gift of gab or all the game that you expect. And I'm gonna come over real nice, real cordial, and tell you straight up what I'm interested in. If I'm thinking about, I was friends. Look, you don't know my life, Bianca. Look, friend zone to life, right? To for life. But I was the guy to come straight up and tell you what's what. Hey, I'm interested in you. I think let me take you out. Let's talk a little bit. Blah blah blah.
You was all or
What?
nothing. You was
I
all or
was all.
nothing.
I was in or out. I was like, I'm
Right.
not interested. All right, I'm walking away. I'm
No hard
whatever.
feelings.
But it was just different. It was super different. And I'm not the best guy. I know I'm a good guy, but I'm not the best guy. But it was hard. It was hard. And I got friends over there pimping left and right, sending me. I'm living vicariously through them, sending me videos and pictures and stuff. I'm like,
But that's because it's all about what you wanted at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely, absolutely. And at the same token, if you're just looking for friendship, you're looking to talk and meet and to chill with somebody. That's how most of the good relationships start out. You just want to meet, chill, and get to know that person. Some of them go hard in the paint, and some of them turn good from that aspect either. It just depends on what you're looking for, and how you guys click. But that baggage that comes into play can make or break an opportunity to really meet somebody that may be good for you.
but even if like, let's say you meet a friend and you realize that like what you have in common is your baggage, and you want to start like taking that friendship and turning it into a relationship, or you might want to date that friend. Like Erica McCoy says, friends first.
Hmm.
Can you make that into a successful relationship?
Yeah, why
Like
not?
meaning to say, like I meet a girl, like that's my friend. We hitting it off, and like part of our friendship is based on the fact that like we can relate on our past bullshit.
She said,
You're
"Damn, you
laughing
sound like
because
a
you know
trauma
that
bond." That's
30%. That's funny.
no, but that makes perfect sense because it could be
Absolutely.
a possibility that depending on how open and honest you are with each other and the communication is there, you can help each other work through that.
You can
Um,
share your vulnerabilities at that
you
point.
and that's what it's always about. How vulnerable you allow yourself to be with this significant other, which in turn is going to pay you super dividends as long as the other person
Right.
um, respects that, um, respects that for one, and two acknowledges it and figures out ways to grow. And it's okay to say, even if they're not able to help say, babe, we need to go talk to somebody, or we need to go figure something out on how to
No,
get this straight.
that's deep. That part's deep.
And that's the other part to it, and that means that other person really cares, and that other person is looking to build and grow, plain and simple. And they're open to anything and pushing. So the baggage is all on whether you unpack it or whether you leave it shut, and how soon before and after you start getting involved with them folks, um, whether it'll make or break your situation. 110%.
Mm.
110%. It can't work if y'all both. Yeah, it can't. If y'all both want help, it can work. If y'all both seek out help together, it could work. I won't say it's not impossible. You got to get
You,
past the hurt. You can get past and grow past the hurt together, but at the same time, you can't use that as the only bond. I see what you're saying. You can't use that as the only bond to your relationship.
that's crucial for what you
Y-
just said right there.
Yeah, you can't use that as the only bond to your relationship because
Right.
that can't be the only connection. You know,
Right.
that's why people who have great sex usually aren't together.
That's because that if that link of that chain breaks, it's over.
Hmm.
You know, if your relationship is that chain, you know, and all of a sudden that one strongest link breaks, like whatever you say that quality is, you don't have anything else to fall back on.
Right,
So
right.
like Erica said, the hurt can't be the only connection. Like you can't just sit there and be basing your whole future on the fact that like you guys can sit there and relate on all your pains. Like at some point you have to step out and one of you might grow faster than the other, but that's the other part. Like at some point, when do you let go? And that's a whole different conversation.
Oof,
You know.
oof. When do you let go? And it gets trickier when you're talking about marriage. It's a little trickier when you talk about marriage. Um, but yeah, we ain't gonna keep talking about our hurt. We're gonna get it. We're gonna have another light skinned dude in here with
Here we go.
cornrows.
Here we
That's
go.
all we need is a light skinned
We
dude.
ain't
All
got
you
no
gotta do is
more
get
space for
cornrows
no
half.
more light dudes,
Get
bro.
cornrows half of. It's a Tyler Perry movie. We need another black woman in here.
Mm-mm.
And the old grandma talking about Jesus. But no, look, bag lady, I think you better call Tyrone. You got to be able to deal with the baggage that you bring within a relationship. You got to acknowledge what it is. You got to be objective about all of your relationships. You need to go back and look at them. The same way you motherfuckers go to work and figure shit out. You go to work and get a project and work that shit through and look at all different sides of it and then turn that, fix that shit or whatever you do at work. You got to be able to look at your life the same way. You got to apply those same mechanics and say, okay, what am I doing here? How is this helping me? How is this affecting me? Or, how can I get past this? Or how can I get better at that? The same problem solving techniques that we use in everyday life and in work, we need to use at home, objectively, to be able to make sure that we're bringing all the right stuff or being honest with ourselves in what we need to work on or how we need to build within that relationship, whether it be from the mother, your dad, your sister, your brother, your siblings, cousins, uncles, or past relationships. Nobody wants to date your ex.
Mm.
Nobody wants to date your ex, and
Or
nobody wants to
their,
date
or
your mom.
theirs, or
Or
their
yeah,
ex.
or theirs. Or nobody wants to date your mom. Nobody wants to date your dad. So figure that shit out. Look at yourself before you work on yourself before you start trying to work with other people. It's the only way that you're gonna be able to really find true happiness with the right person. Um, look, he gonna go listen to Take Care album. You better go listen to. That's the right one. I wouldn't say Certified Lover Boy because I was angry. Now you gotta listen to Take Care. It's a lot of singing on that. A lot of emotional light skin singing on that. But yeah, man, what you got?
Oh
I
man,
got
here we go.
nothing else
So
on
look,
that.
man, I'm gonna tell you what, brother. You was in your zone tonight, but I'm gonna leave everybody else with two things, right? Be humble and do something different. Sometimes you might stand for something you might really believe strongly about what you stand for. And when you bring that feeling into a relationship with somebody you love, you might have to fall back on those beliefs just because that person might not see it as important for your relationship, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
And I learned that in my relationship with my baby because, I've always felt like I had to be so tough or I had to stand up for myself so hard. And at a certain point, you can be protective of your family, and that's one good thing, but you can also do too much to where you lose everything.
Absolutely. 100%.
And I want to leave it with you guys to like be humble and do something different because I can't continue to personally walk that walk because I'm going to have more things to lose. And,
Ooh.
you know, sometimes when you get into these situations, look across the room with your counterpart, and that person might have way more to lose than you, or they might have nothing to lose. And you might have to make a decision on how you should carry it because you might, need to think about going home to your kids and to your wife. So I'm gonna leave that with you guys. It was a great episode. Follow us on our socials. I'm at Hef Streams on Instagram. Follow K Dizzle DC everywhere as well. I love you guys. Thank you for stepping out with us on episode 31. It's been 31 episodes, man.
31 episodes and many more to go. You did the perfect end out, bro. We're going to leave it at that. We love y'all. We'll see y'all next Sunday. And 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 they know, 'cause we know, we go all in.
I know. They know.